Brawl Stars just replaced Mastery with Records, and it didn't go well at all. The community wasn't happy about it, and it seems like everything went wrong with the update. However, now they seem to be apologizing and are planning to fix everything. But are these fixes really a fix, or is Brawl Stars just manipulating us? Today, we'll be talking about the truth and find out what actually went wrong with the update. And even though there were many problems, we'll be just focusing on progression. This is just coins, power points, and credits. Back when there were masteries, every brawler came with these rewards. And when masteries were removed, all these rewards seem to have just disappeared. Plus, their reasoning behind the removal wasn't too clear. One of their reasons were only 11.8% of players had a brawler's title. The only problem is that titles are supposed to be rare, and the new record system actually made it even harder to get. One of their other reasons were players never understood how masteries worked. This is a bit far-fetched, because you didn't really need to even understand the system. All you had to do was play games, and the more games you play, the more rewards you'll get. Let's stop talking about why they removed it, and take a look on how they originally planned to divert the rewards. Most of the rewards went to the trophy road. However, it's mostly a feature for new players. Since you can't claim rewards you already claimed on the previous road, veteran players are simply just missing out on the boosted progression. This is the problem. Where is the compensation for veteran players? Well, it's all just mastery. And if you haven't been playing the game, they give out 2 star drops per brawler. The difference in rewards compared to mastery is really big. That was the main issue. However, now they seem to have realized their mistake and are actually planning to fix everything. Now let's take a look at the improvements and what they're doing to change. One of them was the 1000% mastery bonus. This event came out right before masteries were removed and gave out a lot of rewards. It gave out so much free stuff that they were actually planning to cut it short, but they didn't. Another point they bring up is that they're actually planning to add more rewards to the record system. This is good, and hopefully will make records actually worth grinding for. Moving on to the biggest buff in progression, they're actually planning to add more rewards to the free-to-play battle pass, with rewards being equivalent to a legendary brawler's mastery, which is 3,000 coins, 450 power points, and 300 credits. Their final promise is to add more frequent and also more rewarding events. This list included a mini community event around Mortis, unlimited live challenge for free skins, Mega Pig, Hypercharge Unleashed, and more quests. So it seems like we'll be still getting the same amount of progression, or even more, right? Well, this might not be the case. In fact, they may be using the door in the face technique, which was actually first mentioned by Kairos Gaming a long while back. Let's say in a hypothetical situation, Mastery gives out 1,000 coins, and when they decide to remove Mastery, they compensate by giving you 100 coins. Obviously, no one's going to be happy, so they issue an apology. They've decided that they're gonna hand out 800 more coins, which isn't as much as the previous 1,000 coins, however, still enough to make the majority of the community happy. Is Brawl Stars doing this right now? Well, maybe, because what they're mostly giving away is star drops, and because the rewards are random, it's harder to assign a value. Obviously, this is all just speculation, and they'll never actually tell us if they're using the door in the face technique. Maybe the rewards we get now compared to Mastery is the exact same, or even more. We won't know. However, there is one thing I'm pretty much certain about. Brawl Stars is trying to control what you get. With Mastery, players can decide when they want to claim the rewards, and I suspect this is one of the main reasons why they wanted to remove it. Let's take a look at the new Battle Pass rewards as an example. The Battle Pass was buffed quite a lot with the new resources, but these can only be claimed once a month, every time the Battle Pass resets. Unlike with masteries, you could claim them whenever you want. This is also true with events. However, instead of resetting every month, the developers get full control. They can now decide how much resources we get, the type of resources, and when we'll get it. Let's take a look at the Mortis community event as an example. Most of the progression you'll get from this event is all in star drops and mega boxes, which requires gambling. Which brings the question, why are developers doing this? What is their purpose? Well, to put it simply, it's to have more control over the game's economy. Now, when you need resources, you have to either wait or pay for them. Unlike before, you could have just grinded mastery for a few hours. In fact, they even stated that they didn't like the idea of people storing credits. When I first read this, I thought that now there was no way to store credits for upcoming brawlers, which leads us to the final part of the video, removal of the early access paywall. To be honest, I have no idea whether this is going to be good or bad. I'm not sure why they removed it in the first place, because it doesn't really affect free-to-play players that much. Maybe it's because ultra legendaries didn't sell well and they're looking for a new way to make money. And if they really are looking for a new way to make money, what is it going to be?